natural disaster and human activity. Disaster, volcano activity, earthquake, typhoon, hurricane, tornado, tsunami, heavy rain, and drought. Human activities as forest cutting for development, road construction, big scale of agriculture, air, water, and soil pollution by poisonous material. So, another one is the increase of carbon dioxide concentration by burning. In recent years in Indonesia, you have a big problem in smoking damage by the burning of peat. The environmental destruction by war. War is also the very big cause of environmental destruction. The present situation of environmental destruction by human activities is bigger than natural destruction, because human activities continuously done in the world scale. So that if the environmental destruction by human activities cause the increase of carbon dioxide concentration, destruction of ozone layer, pollution of atmosphere and the ocean. And then this cause was progress to the increase of temperature, solution of glacier in the south and north pole continents, progress of desert, drought and concentrated heavy rain, and then increase of natural disaster and the form of environmental destruction occur. So finally, the serious pollution of air, water, and soil. That is a serious problem for us. The conservation of forests and very, very important for water environment. One slide show you the prevention of soil erosion. This is a branch of Zhangjiang in mainland China. This is a very big river in the Zhangjiang. These lower area, the China constructed in the big dam, that is just before the construction of big dam, cycle dam. But this is a branch of Zhangjiang. The river water is green, so the color is green. But the mainland Zhangjiang is dark river. So if they constructed the big dam, but within 100 years, the dam is maybe don't use for the dark soil sediment, but I'm not sure. The next one is also the China, the year of here in China, 2001. I did there. Most of the here small trees, only small trees in the lower edges. This figure is also the inner mountain of China. The mountain is very long area. There are very many mountains, but no trees. In the former time, this mountain has a big forest, but every wood was cut down. So lower here, no trees. But this area is not so many rainfall, but if the rainfall is 20 millimeters, is rainfall come down immediately. So this is a very big problem for the mainland China, in the hillside or hillside and the mountain area. So it is very important to maintain the forest. In China, is also that if the rainfall was coming, the soil erosion was immediately coming. So the very important point is the soil, stop the soil erosion, prevention of soil erosion, and reforestation is very, very important to maintain our water. The forest maintain and keep the water pool underground. Also, other point is the conservation of ecological diversity. If the forest disappear, no trees, no bird, no insect, no plant. That is a very big problem for the ecological diversity. That is very important to conservation of ecological diversity, like maintain of forest. And also other problems, the fixation of carbon dioxide. If the forest is fixation of carbon dioxide into trees, that is very important to maintain our forest. That is also the decrease of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. That is a diverse point. So if the environmental destruction was fixed there, we have a negative cycle of several environmental forces. So this figure shows that vegetation changes from barren to forest in temperate zone. Temperate zone from the barren to forest, we need about 100 to 150 years. So long time we need from barren to forest. So we need quickly deforestation and revegetation to keep the water full. The water resource is very limited. The fresh water is about 2.5% total water in the earth. The total water is amount is 140 times 100,000 billion tons. However, the available fresh water is about 4.18% of total water. It's very, very little. And also the fresh water is only omnipresence. The omnipresence. About 62% of fresh water located in glacier in the South Pole continent and North Pole continent. And also about 40% of the river water is polluted now. So our drinking water is very limited in the world. That is a very big problem for the human life. Serious problem we have. So I show you some figures. This is an association between trees or plants and mycorrhiza. These figures show the symbiosis between the young pine seedlings and the ectomycorrhiza. The young pine trees is and the root zone is very close, very small area. Root of young pine trees. That's that. If the mycorrhiza associated with pine trees, root of pine trees, their hyphae expanded very big area and then fix the soil. So the very, very effective to prevent the soil erosion. And also the mycorrhiza collected a very small amount of very important nutrients from the directly soil solution, concentrate, and then support to the plant. So that if we use the mycorrhiza to promote the plant growth, it's very, very effective. This is my experimental data. Left side is control plot, no mycorrhiza. The right side is inoculated plot, is a mycorrhiza inoculated plot. So that after 6 months, the weight of plant and the upper part and the colonization of mycorrhizal fungi is quite different amount between two plots. So the symbiosis of mycorrhizal fungi to plant roots is promote the plant growth and promote the revegetation and prevent the soil erosion. This is very, very important function of mycorrhiza. So we think about this mycorrhiza is very, very effective to use the soil to prevent the soil erosion and promote plant growth. So the reforestation and revegetation. But one problem we have, how we can use a mycorrhiza to reforestation and revegetation in the mountainside. Most of the mountainside is very devastated there. So we can develop some supporting material to population between plant, root, and mycorrhiza. So we developed the mulching sheet and green bark about 1990. So the structure of this sheet is we have a 3 layer. One is a forested green to maintain some strength of C. And we do with the polyester random fiber wave. And the last zone is contain the medium and microizal C plus microizal funding. So this sheet is about acrylic C with wide is 1 meter times length is 50 meter. It's a one sheet of multi-function sheet. This sheet was applied to the devastated area to prevent the soil erosion and deforestation. And about 5 to 10 years experiment, we found many results, so that this multifunction C has many functions. One is drainage of flow water, because with the rainfall, the water is mainly flow down into the sea. So very dry, and that the surface of the soil is not disturbed. So therefore, the soil was not eroded after the application of these one sheet. And this sheet also soften the rain impact, so that the rain is not disturb the surface of it. It's also very effective to prevent soil erosion. And also the sheet, the decrease of the fluctuation of temperature and moisture in surface soil. And the sixth is a reduction of wind-free weathering. We applied this sheet in the mountainside in Japan. The winter time is snowfall, and sometimes the surface of soil froze. But this phenomenon is disappear after the application of this mulch sheet. Also, environmental conservation of root soil is very good. So the aggregate structure accelerates. So the soil accelerates formation curve. Also, one other extra function is environmental improvement for soil microbes, because it is under the sheet, the soil condition become good. So the microbes is also placed under this function sheet. The next one is green bag. Later on, I will show you. This bag is we use devastated area of Mount Fuenta in Nagasaki Prefecture in Japan. This devastated volcano area is not flooded. There are many big stone and some other bad wood or something like this, so that very difficult to apply the sheet. So we use this bag, small bag, wide in 30 centimeters, length is 30 centimeters, height is 7 centimeters. Inside is Then there are medium, fertilizer, seed, microorganism, fungi. So we use this part for reforestation in the devastated area of Mount Menda. We use the helicopter, and then we broadcast it by helicopter on the devastated area. I show you the.
I'm sorry, Professor Malmoto, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, very short. Yeah, I see. This one is volcano Mount Menda. It exploded in 1994. This was a city, so the distance of mountain to sea about 5 to 6 kilometers. So this is after the explosion. Most of the area is burned. Many people died. So we use the helicopter, then we broadcast it on the chat box. very difficult question. Yeah. But no problem. I will try to solve the problems in the future.
Okay, thank you, Pak Mormoto. I forgot to introduce my name. I'm Dwi Astiani from Universitas Tanjung Pura, Pontianak. Thank you.
Is there any question? Okay.
Thank you for giving us a very nice presentations. I think it's a good information for us all. I would like to ask you about the seedlings that was grown in the seed and bags. Did you plant the seedlings or it was naturally grown there? And another question is, have you conducted research about the succession process happen in the outside in the land that you planted seed and bag?
First question is some area seed is added into the side, into the seed, into the bags. And sometimes planted the young seedlings is planted on the bags also. The two types we can try. Most times is no problem for the plant. Because if we use the seed in the bags and the seed, a little bit longer time to ferment and germination. As we need much more times than the young seedling. Okay. The second question is
Have you conducted research about the succession process happening in the land that was planted with the seed and back? I forget the name. Yeah.
In Japan, we applied to the seed and bags. At the first time, if we use the seed, the land is we a little bit prepared to the which condition for the seed application, because some tractor or some other human working to make a plant. Yeah. But if the land is not flat, it's very difficult to use the seed. So at that time we use bud types. Several bud types we made, so no problem for the deforestation. But if we use the bud in Indonesia, it's very effective to use the young plant seed initially planted into the center of the bags, then center of the area. But we need many bags. Yeah. So that if the prices of the bags is higher prices, is a big problem for the Indonesia. So now we use you make a very cheaper bag. For example, we use coconuts, fiber is used back making. So the price is almost half price of Japan. But therefore you can use. But now, if how many needs of the deforestation area in Indonesia is affects to the price of the materials. So that many biggest area, if you need the deforestation of the vegetation, the bag and seed prices, the lower prices.
please mention your name and your institution name.
My name is Juliana. I come from Research Center for Biology.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, that is the last question. Thank you very much for Professor Marumoto.
Thank you.
Please give a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, for second lecture, we will hear a talk entitled Soil Health for Buffering Climate Variability and as Insurance Against Risk. For that, we kindly invite Professor Kurniatun Hailia from Brawijaya University to come forward.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the very honor to be here, to be invited by a colleague from IP to share with you our experiences talking about soil health. Well, the topic is maybe quite wide what I choose here, but I hope it fits you, and I think it fit with the previous talk by Professor Huya. Well, the title here, I choose Soil Health for Buffering Climate Variability and as Insurance Against Climate Risk. Okay, I'm working at the Brawijaya University in Malang. Okay. Well, I think this morning, Ibu Annie has already mentioned about sustainable development goals. And a few days ago, people in the world has been collaborating and having a meeting in New York, talking about the end of poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. And last week, in Indonesia, there is a Science Week meeting organized by ICRAF. I was there, so I'm happy here to share with you what is actually happening in Indonesia. So actually, that 60% of ecosystem are now damaged and are being used unsustainably, and because that one is unsustainable, and about 3 degrees of the temperature has already decreased, and by the end of the century, because of the doubling of the greenhouse emission in 2050 under business as usual. So why is that? Is actually about 140 billion tons of global extraction of natural resources per year happen, and in addition for that, 2 until 3 billion additional middle class consumers. It is detected in 2040, and it has been reported as an impact of those emission and climate change that is in Indonesia, that's happened everywhere, hunger and drought and all. As you can hear, that is all of the delay and canceled flight because of the haze problem and flooding. And well, actually, I just quoted here from the Science Weeks that this world actually loses trillions of dollars worth of nature's benefits each year due to land degradation. recommendation. So that's the starting point I'm going to share with you about the soil health. Well, in this sustainable development, there were 17 goals, and it's quite a lot. And where actually we can share from the soil health, and actually we can deal with the end of the hunger and water availability as well as the water quality, and then of course how to dealing with the climate change. And from here, my presentation is going to be discussed here. It is about soil health and sustainable agriculture. Well, it's about history of the agriculture and forestry. Actually, if we look at the history here, where are we going to go actually for the future? Well, actually, what we are afraid, we do not want to have the red dots here with the features what we hear, and we have to do for the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, we want to have a better life, a better environment, and better social as well as government. So there was a change a bit in the agriculture in the past. It's so simple. We just talk of very simple on the left-hand side here. That we are just concentrated on the soil, pest, and crop production. That's it. So the time scale is only one crop, and spatial scale is only talking about field, and the objective is only crop production and only to alleviate hunger. But now, in the climate change era, we are heading closer to the very complex problem that is related. Now, not only one crop cycle, but it's many crop cycle, and the spatial scale in the region scale, and the objective, not only one object, but it's not only crop production, but we have to deal with the environment, about economic, not only economic, but the social system as others. And the goal, not only for the nutrition, but is also health, improved livelihoods, economic growth, social sustainability, and environment. Topics to be discussed here is three things I would like to present here is issues in upland agroecosystems related with the soil health. The second one is related with the soil health for reducing environmental risk and the research challenge a little bit just to get the flavor. Well, I will, of course, add some case studies. We have some research experiences in Malang and Lampung, as well as the Kalimantan, working with the smallholders, as well as with the planters. Working at the university, we look at what farmers actually doing in the landscape. Of course, farmers want to work for their landscape, for their land, is to get 5F, to get food, fiber, fuel, fodder, and fruits. But now that one is not enough. So the work in the agriculture landscape, they have to work further, not only for production, but this protection of environment and conservation of natural resources. Of course, they need good support from the government. And for that, well, unfortunately, this one, the 5F is tangible, and this one is still quite a big problem in counting. It is intangible. So there is no market yet. So there are three things what we are posing here. In the landscape level, we are talking about water. That has been addressed earlier with Professor Takuya, and biodiversity, maintenance biodiversity, as well as the carbon stock to reduce the emission. So what is actually the soil health can do? Of course, soil health cannot do much alone, but it needs a lot of support. The soil health itself is that a condition of the soil that has capability to sustain biological productivity and as well as maintaining the environmental quality, and promote plant, animal, and human being health. Well, that is one broad concept, of course, about the soil health. But soil health is not dealing as soil's very research on chemical, physical, and biological, but it should be dealing with the above ground related with the social life and governance, etc. So, well, what is actually happened? Soil health as an insurance against risk. Maybe one of you are asking what sort of risk we are talking about in this era. Well, about risk, the first risk is, as you showed earlier on, that is about muddy river. We found also everywhere in Indonesia. This one is an example from West Lampung in Sumber Jaya during the rainy season. Well, government and especially this hydropower has problem because of the muddy river. My question is, where is the sediment come from? Why this one is so big, so much, and which actually the source, the biggest source, if he wants to control the erosion? Well, the erosion actually, always people think that is from agriculture. What sort of agriculture we have? Agriculture, but it's not only agriculture as such, but it's also from the footpath in the village, as well as the landslides. The landslides is come also not only from the agriculture, but is also in the river bank, which has happened during the rainy season. Well, together we are collaborating with ICRAF in Nairobi. We will take some measurements with soil erosion. It is using this technique, using chinometer, under coffee, natural forest compared to the coffee monoculture from 1 year old until 12 years old. This one, 12 years old, compared with agro-coffee, agroforestry system with the multi and with mixed with Clericidia associates as well as Paraserianthus. And you could see that this in the natural forest, that this one is very low, the erosion and the runoff. But then after we open up and convert it to the coffee monoculture, a huge difference in changing in the runoff and erosion. The red color is erosion. Now, the question is why the runoff and erosion increase after forest conversion? Well, apparently the changing of the canopy cover litter because of the soil is so clean. Apparently that's led to the compaction in the soil surface. So we measure the porosity, the soil porosity, compare it between the forest, the one in the forest, in agroforestry, in agriculture, monoculture, and as well as in the Imbrata grassland. So we just using a simple method by putting the infiltrated the methylene blue, and then after that overnight we come back and then measure, make a drawing of the infiltration to the deeper layer. From this one, we could also map how much actually the pore is formatted by the organism, not only from the soil as such, not soil characteristics as such, but it's also the organism activity like earthworms as well as the root system. Now, from here, the results of our study there, that is 30 centimeters deep, that is the forest very clearly with these black dots that is showing that is small pores or macro pore, and this one is surprisingly was in the Imbrata grassland. It has a lot of pore as well compared to the one on the coffee monoculture, and this one with the agroforestry. It doesn't have as much as the one in the forest, but this one is deeper than the one in the coffee monoculture. Now, so the key of this principle of maintaining a good soil porosity is giving a good soil cover, as what you mentioned that before. So, and the second risk in agricultural land is that there's apparently pest and disease. This one is the work of our student from Lampung University. It shows in the coffee garden with this monoculture, it has more problem with nematodes. But if you have more trees planted as a shade trees, and especially if you have Gliricidia here, Gliricidia here, well, apparently can reduce the parasitic nematodes about 25% if you compare with the monoculture one. So it's clearly here that is maintaining tree diversity or crop diversity in agricultural land is very, very important to maintain the diversity below ground, which is mostly underground is being neglected. Now, the rest number 4, that's I mentioned that the sediment is coming from the landslides or the lastodon of the river bank. Our student has been working in various places in Malang as well as in Subrajaya, looking at how deep the tree root system and what sort of tree root system, characteristics of tree root system is very good, acting as a living nail, as an anchor to stabilize the river bank. And number of trees that we evaluate very simple as an anchor as well as a root, as a soil holder. This one is very important to combine with the technique what Professor Narmoto suggested, that use to cover the soil with using the mesh, but maybe that one has to be combined with the diversity of the tree, with the deep root system as well as intensive root system. The root should be deep, big, and strong. That will certainly increase slope stability and reduce the landslides. That is based on our early study in Kalikontor and Malang. So, the key here is maintaining tree diversity or crop diversity is we are maintaining the roots as a root system as a life anchor of the system. This number 5, in the era of climate change, that is microclimate. Microclimate is quite a big headache because this one, it will create the evaporation, increase the evaporation. A good tree canopy with different form, different density, just certainly increase the stability of the air temperature as well as the air in the soil. As you could see here, the black dot here is from the forest. This one is agroforestry, it is mixed trees and crops. And the other one, if you have a monoculture coffee, very clear that the difference in the soil temperature is much higher in the sun coffee. So that is the problem with the drought. And again, for the crops with the shallow root system will have a problem. So for that, again, as a key, good canopy cover, increasing the cover of the canopy, as well as providing a good cover or litter layer on the surface of the soil. Now, I would like to give you an example here. For the risk number 6 is degradation of the soil. This one is quite a big headache because it's so complex. This one is just an example from the plantation. I have been working with the students in pineapple plantation in Lampung. That is this with the long term, after 30 years, has been monoculture as a pineapple. And you could see that the production declining all the time. And their production, because this one, they have target production in 2018 that PC yield, it should be 90 ton, RC yield is 60 ton. What they got here is 71 as an average and 30 ton per hectare. So they are still put in the big heading. And they have all kind of machinery, like this one for the planting and for spraying, for fertilizers, herbicide, etc. So they have problem in the soil compaction, in the deeper layer and poor rooting. So what they do actually, they just add it with the organic method by making a compost and return it the plant residues to the soil. But what is happened? Apparently it doesn't happen because the problem, they provide the compost only in the surface layer, while the problem is much in the deeper layer. So during the rainy season, number of places got the water ponding like that, so pineapple will not grow well, because the root system would not like to grow under such wet condition. So that's what they did. After that, not only by returning the compost, but they do some subsoiling. That is quite heavy job as well. They had a deep plowing like this, and then what is our study showed, we have some measurements there, and the 40 centimeter depth, that is after 8 months, subsoil tillage increase the total soil porosity, but only up to 8 months after treatment, after tillage. After that, it's collapse again. So it is clearly that if you maintain the carbon in soil, or maintaining soil organic matter, declining of the soil compaction will be slowing down, not as fast as if you are having an absence of soil organic matter. And the triple layer, you could see here that is still the major problem. That is 6 months after 6 months after planting. By adding the soil organic matter, the soil porosity is 3 times or 2.5 compared to the one without a lower soil organic matter. So maintaining soil organic matter in tropical agriculture is very important to maintain the soil health. We suggested from this study, subsoiling using a heavy machinery needs to be combined with CO2 version by making planting more different roots, plants or crops, which has different root system, different intensity, different layer, different decay. So we can put the 5 indicators for healthy soil based on the one is to be porous, second one is high soil organic matter, the third is high in the biota. We have some observation here with the earthworm, and the fourth is deep root system, and the 5 for the chemical one is low aluminum concentration, which is poisonous for the root growth of the plants. So we suggested that this more crop species planted in agricultural land is very, very important to maintain the diversity of the below ground as well as maintaining the soil health for the longer run. So we can use the soil health for reducing environmental risk. That is the second topic I would like to add here. Why actually soil organic matter becomes center of the soil health? That's well, you could see here this in Lampung that in the tropics, conversion of forest, natural forest to agricultural land happen everywhere. And this one has been reported in the various literatures that soil organic matter declined 60% after forest conversion. When actually that happened, difference management, of course, will have a difference on decline, the speedity of the declining of soil organic matter. So this one, just an example, I quoted this one from a colleague from China, that indeed, after cultivation, they found, this one is the cultivation of years, until 100 years, they found that this reduction very clearly of soil organic matter. It's true. But is that true for agriculture? What about agriculture, which can manage, they manage organic matter residue quite good? Is there no any effect at all? For example, this one, this publication just recently published in 2010 by a colleague from Bogor, from Soil Research Institute, based on the 2002 soil profiles data collected. Yeah, it is based on the 1930, 1940. It is the carbon soil is 2% to reduce to 0.8% in 1970s. And he found that the net accumulation rate of at the top layer is between 0.2 until 0.3 ton per carbon per hectare per year. Then this one is true. That is what the case from China declining after the forest conversion because even clearing of natural vegetation. But what's happening? The turning point here. This is the important part, where actually our agriculture, managing our agriculture can maintain the soil organic matter, because this one it shows increasing, here, the organic matter rate of carbon stock change increasing after 1970 in Java. Just an example, how to maintain soil organic matter, which I saw that is earlier on with the application of crop residues or compost, but actually that can be done through the crop management using this multi-cropping, because the plants, the top crops, as a regulator of the soil health. The soil health, that one, the regulation from the top, actually maintaining the microclimate and provide a good litter input, good quality and quantity to cover the soil to reduce evaporation, and the soil biota got a good food and a good habitat. So the soil habitat, soil biota can maintain the porosity, which is important to reduce runoff and erosion. Now, so our key of the diversity is that litter layer and plant roots diversity is very important bridge actually for above ground and below ground biodiversity. But unfortunately, this research quantitatively is very little in Indonesia or even in the world. As you can see here, the ecosystem engineer from the earthworms and the root system of trees, decay root system, provide a good channel for the next crops to grow deeper, taking the soil, opening, taking the nutrients and water from deeper layer, pumping up and return it as a litter and good cover for the soil. And this one, the soil also, you could see that is the decay root system of the trees actually provide a good channel and increase porosity, soil porosity. As an example here, I would, and that is the soil health in oil palm plantation that we had studied in Kalimantan. This one, before I went deeper to our study, I showed that just recently published by Nikmatul Hasanah, a student from Wageningen, that carbon neutral, no change in mineral soil carbon stock under oil palm plantation. So she had been doing research in various places, taking a sample, soil samples in the different deeper depth and different zone in different plantations. She takes here is to stratified at national level to sample landscape plantation, and the second one stratifies at the plantation level to sample soil. This is based on the plantation management, soil type, and the age. And it has 12 clusters and 155 plots into the sample.
I'm sorry,
what's
Professor, you have 3 more minutes.
Okay, thank you. So this one shows that the carbon stock has not changed from the time to time according to this study. Now, here you could see that is the soil carbon is remain the same, but this one again is stock, total carbon, not the carbon active or passive pool as what we studied later. So this one just gives you a flavor how that the samples is taken from different zone in the oil palm plantation, and this one is the early study, first year, how much actually carbon still exists in the soil. So a source that is not immediately after forest converted and the soil compaction has happened, but is actually our study showed that the porosity has happened 5 years after conversion. So that is, if you want to do something, so please do immediately after forest conversion, cover it, and the 5 years afterward, we have to cover it up to get a better porosity and reduce the runoff and erosion. And the soil organic matter shows that we started declining if we go to the measurements. And the earthworm, indeed, we go slowly, that is not immediately a month or 2 months, but a year after it's opened up the forest. Soil organic matter is still a lot, the water is still no problem, the earthworm gone. No much earthworm from the forest is still found in the oil palm plantation. So, summary of my presentation here, that the forest changing to agriculture actually changing the microclimate, and surface litter and tree density is the drivers of maintaining the process happen in the soil, maintaining soil organic matter, nutrients availability, and soil organic matter activity. And these true factors, this one can maintain the environmental services in the soil by reducing erosion risk, maintaining carbon stock, so we can have economic environmental performance as well. So the future research, maintaining or diversifying agriculture related to soil health is very important to be done in the different ecoregion and different stakeholders, different here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that one our experience in the soil health can give you a bit of idea about soil health related to climate change. Thank you very much.
And now is the question sessions. If you have any question, please raise your hand. Don't forget to mention your name and your institutions, please. Yes, please.
Thank you for opportunity. My name is Sugiarto. I came from Balikpapan Meteorological Station. I want to ask to be categorized as healthy soil in the microclimate component. What's the ideal number of soil temperature and soil moisture? Thank you.
To the microclimate, please. Thank you very much, Pak Sugiarto. Very interesting question. It's a very difficult question to answer in 1 minute. That actually we could not just say, okay, the temperature, for example, this one. We have some microclimate that is mean air temperature is 20 as an agriculturalist. We are talking about microclimate. Well, ideally, should not be higher than 26 or 28, because with that one, it increased the evaporation, and then, well, we'll have problem with drought and then irrigation. Number of plants can survive in a drought, but number is very susceptible. The shallow root system of crops very easily get problem with the drought. So by this one, for example, in a forest condition, the temperature is about 20 until 22, where this number of the temperature about 2022 is also not only convenience for above ground diversity, but is also for below ground diversity. Our earthworm works very nicely if the earthworm got a good food and a good temperature in the soil and a good soil moisture. I think that's around 20 and 25. That would be a convenience for agriculture and for people too. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Please, Mr. Raif.
Thank you very much. I have two questions. We know that an organic fertilizer, we still use the fertilizer, even it in a bed will be kill the microorganism. So how do you think about the use of an organic fertilizer in Indonesia? That's the first question. And the second question is, did you also investigate the microorganism in oil palm plantation land? It's still alive or not? I wonder that. Yes, thank you.
Still have some minutes.
Thank you, Wahyu. This is a very good question also. That, well, actually working with the soil health, we are dealing that is not only with based on the single parameter. Indeed, that is biology, chemistry, and chemicals, and physical. And applying organic fertilizer will kill another organism. Well, again, applying something alive to the soil which is not healthy is wasting money. So, in the plantation, they also would not believe that it's just applying an organism in the soil, but they are going to maintain, say, like the first question, try to maintain the habitat first to make it fertile, healthier first, and then they apply these organic fertilizers. And I don't know which organic fertilizer because now in the market it's so many. Number works very well in the oil palm plantation, but some did not give any effect. Colleague from ITB has been doing the microbial test in oil palm plantation. We are from agriculture faculty working mostly on the soil health. It is related to the soil organic matter. I'm not familiar with what they are doing actually, but people, I think, from the group from ITB is doing it thoroughly well. And even they try to do this any kind of biotechnology things, trying to introduce number of organisms from different places, but we have a job to maintain first, to improve the soil health by looking at the 6 indicators: porosity, moisture, and organic matter, organism, and root system, and aluminum toxicity. But unfortunately, we are not involved in the microbiome, but we would like to learn from you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm afraid that the questions from Mr. Wahyu will be the final question. So thank you very much, Professor Kurniawan. So big applause for Professor Kurniawan.
distinguished participants, last lecture for session 1 will be delivered by Dr. Masayuki Ito from Center of Southeast Asian Studies, entitled Evaluation of Wastewater Nitrogen Transmutation in a Natural Wetland, Ulaanbaatar Mongolia, using dual isotope analysis of nitrate. To Dr. Ito, we kindly invite to come forward.
Selamat siang Bapak dan Ibu. Nama saya Ito dari Center for Southeast Asian Study University. And today I'd like to introduce a river water quality research conducted in Mongolian capital, which is also developing quite rapidly. So I hope that this kind of information can contribute to future research in Indonesian river ecosystem as Professor Henny mentioned in this morning. So this is a two river which flow this one flow in Mongolia to Lake Bagar, and it passed through by the Mongolian capital Ulaanbaatar. The city of Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia, has experienced a large increase in human population during the past decade. So it has been concerned that the important water resource of the country, this river, has been increasingly polluted by wastewater, which is discharged from the central wastewater treatment plant of the city. And I would like to introduce the nitrogen load from the sewage treatment plant. I think, as you know, like fertilizer in agriculture area, sewage water from urban area has been as a major contributor to nitrogen loading, and it contributes to the degradation of aquatic ecosystem. And then high concentration of nitrogen in drinking water is considered as it can cause some kind of cancer, some kind of disease in the human body. So the World Health Organization and the European Union and also Japan and the United States have a rule for the standard concentration of nitrogen in water. And then the World Resource Institute has estimated that less than 5% of all sewage in developing countries receive any treatment before it is discharged into the environment. So now we need to assess the ecological impacts of nitrogen pollution from sanitation system in developing countries. It is necessary to understand the sources, transportation, and also contamination, and transformation of nitrogen in polluted areas. And then again, so this is two river, and then here is the headwater, and then this goes to Lake Baikal. And then we conducted the research. We conducted the water sampling in start point, and we find that the concentration of nitrate increased. This is before passing Ulaanbaatar, and then this one after passing Ulaanbaatar. So it was increased rapidly. Increased so fast. Then here I would like to introduce about the nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen, especially nitrogen, nutrient and pollutant for ecosystem. So it means that nutrient for phytoplankton, and also it can be pollutant if it's not too much to the river system. So it can cause the eutrophication and disturbance of aquatic ecosystem. And then in the aerobic conditions, organic matter, organic matter can be divided to the ammonia, and also then after that, it can be nitrified by microbes to the nitrite or nitrate. And then sometimes it also converted to nitrous oxide. It's a very important greenhouse gas. And then in anaerobic conditions, this kind of nitrite or nitrate can be denitrified by the, it's also done by the microbe in the anaerobic conditions. So it can be converted to nitrogen or nitrous oxide or something like that. So it means this is the removal of nitrogen, removal of nitrate, removal of nitrate from the water. Okay. So, the identification of the root of the delivery of the drained water, accompanied with the knowledge of the transformation of material during its transit, is required to develop an effective plan to alleviate the deterioration of water quality and ecosystem of the water, ecosystem of the river. So this study was aimed to obtain basic information regarding hydrology and also the transformation of nitrate. So here we conducted a snowfield survey in the area of sewage plant and also in the area of wetland very near from the sewage plant. And this is a sky view of the sample site. And here, as you can see, so the water color of the sewage water plant. Sewage plant is very, very, very different from natural color. And then here, from here, water river, river water from river water flows to the downstream like this, and then here is the pond areas, and it's sometimes continuous flow, and then sometimes discontinuous flow. And then here the two rivers main. And then here is a small cave, and then from we yes, so here is continuous tributary, and also here is pond areas, and then also here is a discontinuous tributary. And then if we saw the view, and then if we stand on this hill, then we can see the such kind of view. So here is sage ground, and then this is a continuous flow, and then this is and here the pond area, and then here is continuous flow area. So, so it's like a very big wetland, in the downstream area of sage ground. And then these are pictures, photos of the rain stream, and then we measure the water flow in the river. And then we also the 48-hour sampling in this kind of view. So, and then the sampling time was September, and then in the morning, the air temperature is about -1 degree, but in afternoon, sometimes over 30 degrees. So then here we can see our sampling station. And then these are control sampling point, and then that one is a spring water point, and then here the surface water point. So we collected water sample from and also spontaneous research. And then this is a drain outlet of sewage plant. So as you can see, it's very smelly, very bad, and then so many bubbles and organic matter in water. So we conducted a hydrological measurement in this measurement, and by using a 1 meter of five other piezometer, and also and then we made a water table level, and also we collected water sample from the ground. So and then we conducted the measurement of chemical constituents of water, and also isotopic composition of water sample, like with O18 or H2O, and also beta 15 nitrogen or nitrate, and also O18 or nitrate. And this is the result of the water table level in this area. And then here's the pond area, and also here is a sewage plant. Then we measure some kind of solid pipe, and also surface water level in this area. And then we can find here the highest point, and then here the reference point. So now we can know the general water flow from the sewage water plant to downstream area. And then this is the electric conductivity. Then it was very, very high in near the sewage treatment plant. For example, in Japanese river, only 40 or 50 micrograms per centimeter, but here they are over 1,000. So then after that, after withdrawing this value decreased gradually by diluted by rainfall, and also groundwater from two rivers. And then this is the result of delta OA2 of H2O. So isotopic enrichment was observed in groundwater and pond water in the spectrum area. And this suggests that water was affected by evaporative condensation with low latency time. Because the values in the discontinuous flow is almost same, so it means that this water water flow directly from this and very rapidly to downstream. And then this continuous flow area, so it's also higher. It also has higher value of orientation. It means that if our water is a discontinuous flow, it's also affected by evaporation. Okay, so then when we see the results of PC and water temperature in all the area, so in the continuous flow area, it also has stable value from the upper stream to the downstream. And then in the front area, it's also compensated by evaporation. And then this is a result of ammonium and also ammonium and nitrate in this area. And then we can see higher ammonium concentration in continuous flow tributary, but we cannot see so large values in the discontinuous flow. And then this is nitrate concentration. It's also continuous flow has a very stable value, but not so big. In the groundwater of wetland area, it increased so much. And also downstream area of the discontinuous flow, nitrate concentration also increased. And then I'm not sure whether this spring water has too high nitrate, but it's also affected by the nitrification in the groundwater. So this graph shows the distance from sewage water plant to the downstream. And then here is a continuous tributary. This is ammonium and this is nitrate. So as I already said, so it was very constant. But in the discontinuous tributary, the ammonium concentration dropped down, and then it kept in almost zero. And also nitrate concentration was increased gradually. And also in the some ponds nitrate concentration was very high. So this means in the discontinuous tributary and also in some pond in the wetland area. So nitrification contributed to increase nitrate concentration. So this way, the transformation from ammonium to nitrate. So here, I would like to introduce the stable isotope of nitrate. So the nitrogen and oxygen stable isotope ratio are expressed in the delta notation. Like this. And where R is the ratio of 15N and 40N or 18 mole and 16 mole in the nitrate state. And many studies have shown that several isotope techniques are useful for understanding nitrogen sources and cycling. And then delta N15 is also an effective indicator of denitrification in groundwater because of its isotopic fluctuation that occurs during denitrification. So, denitrification can be assessed through the characteristics after shift of nitrate and oxygen isotopes in nitrate. So, this is a very simple example. So in the water, 14 nitrogen ammonium and 15 nitrogen ammonium coexistence in water, but actual ratio is more or less actual ratio of 15 nitrogen ammonium is more or less. And then, so if the nitrification occurs, so because the lighter, so 14 ammonium, 14 nitrogen ammonium, it's very easier to react. So as a result, residual ammonium has higher N15 value, N15 value, and it's also sent to denitrification. So like 14 nitrate, it's easier to react. So as a result, the residual nitrate, it has a higher delta 15 value. So then here's a figure from Kendall 2007. She summarized so many data of the groundwater for precipitation for atmospheric nitrate. And let's see figure out this part. And here we can see if the nitrification occurs, N15, delta N15 and delta O18 increase with the ratio of 2 to 1, like this. So now we see our data, of delta 15 nitrate and delta 14 nitrate. So then in the continuous flow tributary, it's also very stable, like this. But in the discontinuous tributary, isotopic values increase with the distance from surface mass. This means that denitrification contributed to increase in delta 15 nitrate. So it's like this. So this is the delta 15 nitrate, and this is the delta 18 O nitrate. Then in the continuous flow tributary, it almost same value like this, but in the downstream area of the discontinuous tributary, it increased so much. And also we can find in the spring water which comes from basins, which comes from groundwater from longer length time. So they have very high values of this. So we can combine the figures of Kendall and also our data. There's so many this one. Square shows the stream water and also pond water. So this increase from here to here, and then also in some series stream, it has very high value. So as you can see, in the figure candle, so the highest value was 35. So, but in this area, the value of delta 15 and sometimes reach to over 60. So it has very unusual value. And so from here we can know that the nitrification process occurred in the river water, especially in the discontinuous flow, and also the stream water after the long traveling in the groundwater. So, yes. So as summary, so in the continuous flow, high ammonium value was kept from the upper stream to downstream, and in the discontinuous flow, like this, here nitrification and also after the denitrification occurred, so the ammonium concentration decreased and then nitrate concentration increased. And also there is another pathway of the water. It's the groundwater, and after that it can be a spring water. So it's also affected by the nitrification. So as a summary, high concentration ammonium throughout the continuous tributary entails the transformation of nitrogen. Then flow down the wastewater is very, very small. And then hydrological measurement reveals the existence of general subsurface water flow, surface water flow. Then very high nitrogen stabilized ratio that is in water along the continuous tributary. This suggests denitrification occurs actively during the water flow. And then now we can say that in the wetland area, the difference in hydrological pathway of the wastewater, such as construction artificial wetland, can have potential to improve the water quality. So it is a input of nitrogen. So in the nitrogen from the river system. So thanks so much. That's all.
Thank you very much for the lecture. And now is question session. If you have any question, please raise your hand and mention your name and your institution. Please. Is there any question? No question? Okay, thank you for Dr. Ito. Please give a big round of applause for Dr. Ito.
And I would like to kindly ask Dr. Ito to remain on your position up here, in front here. And please come forward for Professor Marumoto and Professor Kurniaku. We would like to ask Professor Sulaiman and Professor Yamamoto to come forward for token of appreciation.
ini sih. Yes.
Okay, give a big applause to Okay, thank you very much. And the next program will be
Thank you for all the lectures. Before we continue our program, we would like to invite all participants to poster presentation. You can see the poster presentation in your backside, and then at half past 12, lunch has already been provided outside this auditorium at 12:30. And then we will continue the next lecture session right at 1:30. We hope all the participants will be back into this room before the next session begins. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, to all the poster presenters are required to stand close to their poster during this session.
Jauh banget.
Saya dari 8.
Oh, dari 8.
Ya,
Oh, ketemu di sini. Oh, terima kasih.
Jadi pengen saya tanya di sebenarnya.
Iya, iya.
Dengan
Ya, ya. Iya. Betul. Iya.
Saya berasumsi bahwa
Ya, itu base.
itu adalah climate change juga.
Iya, base.
Health,
Ya, ya, betul. Ya, ya.
juga lihat strong power. Sudah ada.
Terima kasih Pak Sugeng. Memang saya mungkin kurang.
Waktu
Ya, jadi itu itu tadi ke temperature makroplanet jelas. Jadi orang berbicara kalau climate change itu yang big picture saja itu adalah dari pertama jelas frequency dan sebagainya, ya kan? Terus kemudian dari soil health itu tidak bisa soil health itu tahu-tahu bagus healthy tapi kan harus ada covernya diversitas ya. Terus kemudian water soil moisture, terus soil porosity. Kalau tadi soilnya kan poros, air kan masuk sehingga kekeringan ini tadi akan mensupport crop production, risk dari gagal panen. Terus kemudian porosity yang bagus menstimulir akar bisa tumbuh di dalam. Jadi akar bisa lebih survive against the risk of musim di daerah itu. Kebanyakan akar-akar dari hutan ini kan dangkal-dangkal, kalau seperti tadi dengan plowing, dengan mekanisasi tidak banyak membantu. Setelah 8 bulan kolaps lagi. Ya. Ya. Ya, betul. Betul sekali.
Kalau
Ya. Ya. Betul, betul. Ya. Kalau dari kami dari tanah dan atmosfer ini tidak bisa dipisahkan. Evaporasi itu kalau kita bentuk itu tadi jelas akan mengurangi evaporasi. Nah, itu kan akan mempengaruhi terhadap rainfall dan itu kan ya. Nah, jadi ini yang kedua. Yang kedua yang penting kalau bagi kami dari pertanian adalah emisi CO2 itu baik dari dekomposisi maupun dari pupuk terus kemudian dari kegiatan pertanian di pemekaran dengan adanya diversity tadi kita tidak perlu membakar karena freshnya bisa dikontrol dengan alami dan sama kata pembakaran itu meningkatkan emisi melepaskan CO2 dan metan. Ya, terus kalau kemudian kita macam dalam umur yang panjang penyerap CO2-nya akan lebih lama dan disimpan dalam waktu yang lama, mengurangi dekomposisi dan seperti yang sekarang terjadi kan dekomposisi besar-besaran karena terbuka sistem pertanian. Ya, terima kasih ini masukan yang bagus karena waktunya yang
kalau
ya.
hujan kan datanya banyak sekali.
Betul,
Manapun kita bisa dapat.
betul.
Bisa sampai masuk ke situ. Kira proses penyerapan kelihatan lagi apalagi mengenai airnya.
Iya, iya.
Jadi temperatur dengan soil moisture.
Iya, iya. Betul. Nah, curah hujan juga tidak masuk ke tanah, nggak ada gunanya bagi tanah.
Belum lagi sekarang banyak sekali faktor industri.
Iya. 17.
Penerus yang tidak penyerapan itu. Jadi
Iya.
Jadi sarang di mana-mana ditutup.
Iya.
Limpasan jadi.
Iya, tidak ada limpasan. Hilang kan?
Jadi limpasan semuanya. Jadi tidak lagi penyerapan, tidak lagi disalurkan ke
Iya.
sungai, tapi melimpas.
Iya, betul. Seperti daerah-daerah perkotaan kan?
Betul.
Iya. Dan manajemen yang kurang bagus, terlalu monokultur dan ya kita terlalu terfokus pada teknologi. Ya.
Jadi ada dua pembicaraan Pak Fabio.
Iya. Iya, Pak. Nah, menarik sekali yang di tanah. Sangat impress itu adalah dengan kegiatan dulu itu dengan LIPI juga dengan titik start assessment itu kita bergerak di Ground Biodiversity itu dilihat dari hutan dari apa saja yang hilang terus kaitannya dengan dan tadi polusitas di dalam sana terlalu clean, terlalu bersih pertanian itu ternyata banyak sekali Iya.
Alam itu yang alami saja memang kembali ke alam saja.
Itu yang kami geluti, Pak. Iya. Mari. hampir ketinggalan.
Yeah, really. Yes, but not so many. But now I do research in Finland, VR, and also Central Kalimantan.
Central Kalimantan, yeah.
Yeah, so with Hokkaido University, yeah, Palangkaraya. So many times. Please, give me the- yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 Yes. Yeah. So it was already published as a paper. So yeah. Yes, and also it can be downloaded by doing the research gate.
Yes.
I think I already uploaded the file. Yeah, yeah. I think it can be done in Indonesia. そうですね。その方がどっかに行けたら、はい、一瞬失礼します。ありがとうございます。はい。はい。
Kita di Jogja ya. Oh iya. Kita makan bareng-bareng. Oh ini Bioli saya penyanyi. Oh ya. Ya. Sama yang di Ambon juga.